we go. We are counting down 15 seconds. We are down to 10 seconds, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and do my cold open momentarily. Stand by, Instagram. Our interview will be starting shortly. One True Promotion has great news tonight. We are live with our newest member and the head of our gaming and streaming department for our outreach into Twitch. You know him as Wabaline, but tonight you are going to have to call him Ron. This is Drop a Line. And unmute your mic on StreamYard real quick. And we are live with Ron Powick. Ron, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How you doing?
I am great. Listen, it's great to have you here. And I'd like to apologize to you real quick because in the midst of all the craziness of life, we left you hanging there for a minute. We were discussing for weeks and weeks, months at a time, bringing you more on board. But now we are finally back and ready to officially announce that you are heading One True Promotions gaming and streaming department.
We're finally here.
We're finally here. So, folks, if you are interested in gaming and streaming, or if you just need advice from One True Promotion on gaming and streaming, this is the guy you can talk to right here, Ron Powick, Wabaline, who is now an official partner at One True Promotion. Ron, I already asked you this, but
I'm doing really good. I'm just getting used to the.
You read my mind. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my! You completely read my mind.
Why? Huh?
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How about you?
I am fantastic. So,
okay. So what was I going to say? I think I just forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh, geez, I'm the worst. I'm the worst host ever. But anyway, Ron.
It happens, man. No worries. It happens.
Ron has been running a very successful venture of his own before he joined One True Promotion over on Twitch. He is the gaming streamer known as Wabaline. Ron, how's your Twitch channel doing?
It's actually growing. Since I've been playing Breath of the Wild recently, it's one of the games I'm playing right now. The channel has been seeing increase. And I have been joining other teams as well, that sort of thing. And that's been helping me keep going more for more of an audience. Again, if some things are slow paced, that sort of thing, it just really depends on the games you're into. That's the most important part here. So the games I play may not be like Apex Legends or anything like that, which are usually the bigger things. I tend to focus more on the games I really enjoy. And that's the most important part when it comes to all this.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you. And I can say I can vouch for your channel, especially because I have not as often as I would like. I apologize. But I have been a viewer at your channel many times across a span of many months. And every time I go back to Wabaline on Twitch, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. We are on One True Promotions Twitch. Every time I go back to Wabaline, the experience is the same. I always have a tremendous, fabulous, fun time just dropping in and listening to him talk and play the games and engage with the community. Ron really runs an amazing community that is friendly and just fun and relaxing and quirky over on Twitch. And I have to say, if you want to have pretty much the best Twitch experience you could possibly have for your first experience, Wabaline is the first channel you'd want to check out.
That's really appreciated. Thank you. It's a lot of work though, for sure. It's been, I'm about hitting my second year as affiliate. I hit affiliate back in May of 2019. So I'm about to actually now go and hit that in, obviously in 2021, it's about to be the second year. How far I've grown and stuff like that actually has been actually quite insane. I wasn't expecting the channel to grow the way it was. I was kind of, because the game I first played and stuff like that, I played Final Fantasy 11. That was the first game I streamed. That was my major focus because I was really big into that. And as the time goes on, I started then realizing, I want to try to branch out. Because I didn't want to keep playing the same game constantly. I used to stream 7 times a week, but I cut that back because I wanted to start focusing on other content creation avenues so that I can perhaps get more people coming to the channel and stuff like that. But more again, for fun. I want to make sure when I'm doing this kind of stuff, it's more for fun. Not trying to take away from my anything else that needs to be done in real life and like priorities, that sort of thing. Like just reminding myself to make sure I'm having fun what I do.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important to to enjoy what you do. I think it's important to encourage people that all of the hard work that you have done, because you always hear hard work hard, burn it at both ends to make your dream real, you always hear that. And you find, especially as an independent artist of any kind, that that's what you need to do. But I think it's really encouraging and refreshing to hear that all of that work is for the sake of having fun. It's for the sake of having a great channel. It's for the sake of having great engagement. It's for the sake of having recognition so people can pull in people from different places and all join a stronger community together. It creates, in my opinion, more fun.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Because, you're going to get people from all over, people who pretty much have the similar, interests as you do. And it kind of, again, it creates that kind of really nice environment. Nice and relaxed. Just again, the whole goal about this, what I wanted to start with, is to help people keep people relaxed. Of course, do some entertainment at the same time because that's my job. I need to entertain. But I do also keep in mind that I want to make sure that with everything going on, I'm just kind of in a sense, just taking time, doing the little things here and there, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. So, Ron, we are actually going to put you to the test tonight. I should assure you that the Tonight Show is all about promoting you and telling the audience who don't know you yet how they can best support you. But before we get to that, we are actually going to put you on blast and test your skills at keeping people relaxed, because I am not going to relax. I'm going to go into panic mode, and you are going to have to quell and pacify me. You can see my hand shaking. So I am going to be absolutely panicky until people start writing questions for Ron and I on either Instagram or Facebook. So I see one came from Dave. He said he played Left 4 Dead, but then he departed the show soon after. He said, "Enjoy the show. Be back later." Okay, so we lost Dave. I'm panicking. Panic mode. All right, Bob.
All right. Oh man. Oh look, I gotta be playing a game right now to do this. Just like Oh, look at that shrine over there. I wonder if I can get right into that. I want to see what's going on here. Let's see if this is this puzzle. I'm not familiar with this puzzle exactly. It seems like I need to, if I go, do I put the ball right over here perhaps, or I put it right over there? Not too sure what to say. We'll take a little bit of a moment to step back just a little bit, and then we'll try to go to the left here a little bit. Apparently he has not left the show. He's still here.
He has not left the show. Dave, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the show last week. You are absolutely amazing. And thank you, everybody who is watching the stream and everybody who leaves a comment. I hope you enjoyed that little joke I played, but we really do appreciate you being here. Some of you have been on the show. Others among you are soon to be on the show. You are marked down in the calendar for your first appearance, and we are very excited to have you. So, yeah, this community is all inclusive and all for you. So please do continue to watch the show and enjoy. This is Ron. Ron and I went to high school together. He's an old friend, and it's so great to have him here. He was the second guest we had on Drop a Line. He is one of the reasons the show got off the ground to begin with. Ime, outside of keeping a regular schedule, what do you do to build viewership? Great question.
That's a good question. That is actually a really, really good question. So in my case, what I've done is I reached out. You reach out to other streamers, your network. That's one of the few things that help you as well. But mind you, when you network, do not just go out and network with anybody. You need to network with somebody you're going to feel comfortable with. You can enjoy their content. Because when you're doing that, what you're doing is you're building a kind of, in a sense, a personal relationship with somebody. That's how I've been able to build my own viewership, is by going out, talking to the streamer. If I enjoy that streamer, talk to them more, maybe hang out with their streams a bit more, support them. So it's not just about, going out, talking with them and then hoping they'll do something for you. It's more like, hey, let's support these people as well, because they're trying to stream, they're trying to push their content out there. So why not I be there to help them out? And that's what you keep doing. You just got to have that kind of ability to say, hey, I'll go out, reach out to somebody, talk with them, build a relationship with them, and then kind of like build off of that. And keep in mind, this could be a new friend. And I basically have built many, many friendships by doing that. Just going out, talking with people, seeing how their day is, getting to learn what somebody, pretty much learning how somebody acts, probably getting to like know their interests. Like it's just being personal. It's I hate to say these kind of words, but the truth of the matter is it's kind of like running a business sometimes, so to speak. That's the other thing to keep in mind, but don't like focus on that aspect right away, of course, but like go out, go enjoy other people's streams. And then when you feel comfortable, tell them, hey, I stream, that creates, again, it creates that personal feeling.
Yeah. Be in the business of good fun. That's how I look at it.
Oh,
are you reading Dave?
I am.
What's the creepiest thing you've been DM while networking? Good question. It's a good question. While Ron picks up his answer, I should point out to everybody that tonight my fiance, Carrie Walden, Liza Cub, is with us tonight. Carrie, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Folks, I am getting married. I could not be more excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, my God, dude. Congratulations. I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that just till tonight. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel terrible because I should have probably been more.
You don't need to feel terrible.
I'm so caught up with so much what I'm doing, and then I go, oh, hi. But nonetheless, congratulations.
We got so many comments back on our Facebook post on that day.
Oh,
I just thought you were somewhere in the sea of all those.
So the problem is I'm not on Facebook as much. My Facebook is legitimately just to say, hey, I'm live on Twitch. Goodbye. That's literally what my Facebook has become. It's become a dumping ground for my Twitch link.
You were there moments before we announced our engagement. You were like, hey, I'm on Twitch. Goodbye. Leaves. And then Carrie and I showed up. That was it's like we just missed him. Jeez.
Oh my God, Jesus, bro! I was just like, oh, that happened. Oh, well.
I'm very excited, and folks, Carrie has been on the show twice before, and once we are living together as life partners, she can crash the show whenever she wants. So get ready for that. So,
and there goes my phone.
Congratulations also to Waba as well. Demon Chef says you have really done a fabulous job with your channel. And before we go to Dave's awesome question, I really got to say what you said about being very personal, and if you find a streamer that you like, communicate with them more, and that gets them more involved. It's really a big full circle moment for me, because over the summer I watched Andrew, while we were working together as the founders of One True Promotion, triple his following on Instagram, and I was having a lot of difficulty doing so. And I was kind of at the time just posting and posting and posting and posting. And I asked him, I said, how did you do that? And he said, I just started popping up on other people's walls a lot more. If somebody left me a comment, I went and I commented on one of their things. I started a conversation. And finally, recently, I've kind of gotten into a groove of doing the same, and my followers have been increasing. So Andrew and I here at One True Promotion, and Ron here at One True Promotion, can tell you across indie businesses, writing, publishing, gaming, streaming, across platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, the advice seems to be universal. Be personal. Forge relationships.
Absolutely. That's like the most important thing. And I said, like, right now I'm watching one of my buddies, the guy I happen to be another part of another group called the Zaibatsu Future Streamers. And right now, this guy, he's basically almost close to partner. And he's done the same thing. He's been very personal, he interacts with his community a lot. He's also who I do take some advice from him. The other thing, I notice is that he cares for people. Like he, technically he actually works at a vet place, to take care of pets and that sort of thing. But also, he focuses on his streams and stuff like that. So he kind of has that kind of like really nice connection. So it's always nice to see that he's really striving through, and his success and stuff like that. And then, what I'm doing on my end is helping me and my channel grow. So in the long run, like a lot of this stuff is like doing really well.
Hmm.
You know,
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's good to hear. And thank you to everybody who is congratulating me. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Dave. Dave, you're good. We're so happy to have you here. Christine, we're great. You're great.
we
Thank
need to get back to Dave's question.
We did not. We need to know what was the creepiest thing that ever, the creepiest DM you ever
So
got,
I have
excluding mine
typical.
or high school friends. It's the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I could bring up our one thing we've done in high school, but yeah, that's not the
That wasn't me.
that
That
was,
was you. That was you. I was
like
a victim in that. A victim, I say.
a victim.
If
You
anybody
say?
wants
Are you
to know,
sure
we'll
you're a
tell you
victim?
at the end of the show. But anyway.
Um, um, so, so the other thing, I guess the creepiest thing, man. I mean, I've had probably some people I've considered like friends and stuff like that kind of message me some memes and some weird shit. Just randomly. They're like, oh, we're gonna tag you in this because you're here in our voice chat talking with us. And I just go, oh, this is what I see now. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is because memory is foggy, because I tend to like go, oh, if that just happened, that's just oh. Oh, okay, yeah, for the best. Let's just move on. Move on, my friend. Let's just move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens to me on Instagram too. Christine is saying genuine friendships and building a support group is so important, and having a great personality goes so far. Thank you very much, Christine. You have a great personality, and Ron, so do you.
And so you, buddy. Look, I see, you just spread that word, just saying, hey, you're really good. You're good. You're good. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. Yes, we'll all be Keanu Reeves. He is a good person to take personalization tips from. He's a good guy. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ron, we've talked a lot about your experiences building the channel. We've talked a bit about how to build up your following. And so I have another question I want to ask. But before I get to that, I want to ask you, is there anything that you want to touch upon that we have not yet touched upon?
So I'll bring up a couple of things real fast. So those recently are not aware, actually by the end of this year, I hit basically my 500 follow mark. It was actually, when it happened, it was like, holy crap. I wasn't expecting to. In a long sense, I started last year at probably about around 200 follows. And I, by the end of this year, hit over with 300 follows. Mind you, I'm not even streaming like Apex or any of those bigger games. I'm streaming more like the smaller games. So the fact that like in that year span, I went from 200 to 500 is amazing. It's like, holy crap. Now I'm here. I'm like at the 500 mark, and now I'm just building from there. And so with that, I'm not going to go too much detail yet, but I am doing a charity month in April. I'm still working on some of the kinks and some of the details. I'm actually, I will say though, it's a variety month. So every day is a different game. I've been using this month basically to reveal each day a different game that I'm playing. Once that calendar is filled, you guys will see all the games, the times that, the time frames that I'll be playing them. Also, what's really cool is that in that month, 3 12-hour streams. How this is possible is that I had what we have is called on Twitch. There's a event called September. And Alec. So in whatchamacallit? So in September, there is the event called September. Basically, if you sub to a channel, you pay half the price, but we basically get paid full. So I made it an objective to use that month to build to get finances to have this for the charity month when I hit the 500 follow mark. And I had sub goals. And one of the sub goals was, once we hit about, I think it was when I hit about 50, was basically I would do 3 12-hour streams total that month. I've done a 12-hour stream before, and I have done a 24-hour stream before. So they
24 hours straight.
I did a 20. And welcome back. You backed away because you're like, no, I heard about
I
that. I know
fainted.
about
I
it.
don't know what you're talking about. I fainted. You're a hard worker, my friend. I need to learn how to work
Well,
hard.
the thing I look at it though is you enjoy what you do, right? And that's the most
That's right.
important thing. And that's why what I'm doing is something I actually really enjoy. So in the long run, that's the thing and whatnot. My Instagram was falling behind the chat apparently, but I fixed that. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I really found it, just like tracking your progress from the beginning of your channel to where you are now, as much as I did, really was very humbling to me. And I was especially humbled and moved when you started doing your charity streams. I think that you've done tremendous service by entertaining people and gathering community and fundraising. I just feel like your channel really gets it right on so many levels. I think it's a channel that anybody who's interested in Twitch really should go to immediately.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So and the reason behind what I do is just because I enjoy the whole idea of being able to give back, so to speak. And I've had that ability to give back and use my gaming and entertainment to help a good cause. I'm going to do it. I've gotten to the point I used to remember back in my mind all those years ago. I would be like, do I really do this? Do I feel it? Or am I gonna do it's those suspicious things that come to mind. Like you might think of those things going, oh, am I words are difficult here. So you would think to yourself, oh, if I support this charity, is this charity really a good charity? Is it worth the charity to support? Because there have been charities in the past, and there has been proof that there were some charities, and we won't go into any of the names, that weren't really worth to fund.
Right.
Because you found out that the money wasn't really going to what the cause was for.
Right. Not much transparency. Yep.
Correct. Because my first one I did was more on the personal level. I did Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, excuse me. That was I did for CHOP. That was my first one, which was my 24-hour stream. My second one, which I did my 12-hour stream for, happened to be my words here. My 12-hour stream happened to be for Action Against Hunger. It was specifically to donate to the COVID-19 funding that they were doing because, I believe that right now we do need to be able to feed ourselves. We are to the point that during this pandemic that we got going on, that people are struggling. Though, the government's doing its best can here in the States to fund people by putting out these checks, these stimulus checks and things like that. But it is important that we should also make sure that people are aware that, hey, you need to make sure you're feeding yourselves and making sure that, nobody's starving and no one should starve.
That's right.
Especially with everything going on right now.
That's right. Amen, brother. Amen. It's great to hear that from you. We're experiencing some brief technical difficulties, mostly on Instagram, actually. So we're going to take a quick break and promote an upcoming stream that is of crucial importance. Writers Unite, because I am inviting you all to submit content. Last call for content for live readings happening February 2nd. Here's a promo on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
All good.
And we are back with Wabaline. If you are interested in live readings, please do submit to live readings. Wabaline, so I wanted to ask you another question before we got too far into it.
Give me just a second here.
Sure, that's no problem. That's no problem at all. We are... And he is back.
All right, I'm back.
It's all good, people. It's all good.
Okay, so, all good. Sorry about that.
So we've done a great job tonight talking about the way your channel is run, the reasons that your channel is run, and we did.
I think he did. He did.
We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. All right.
Just do it again.
Nobody wants me to ask this question. Okay. Andrew asks, how do we get 25 minutes into Dropline without announcing that Wabaline has joined OTP? I want to know how I went this far without mentioning it twice or even 3 times. Folks, Wabaline has joined One True Promotion as the head of gaming and streaming. I am the director of broadcasting at One True Promotion. That means that I drive most of the shows that you see. Andrew is the chief operating officer. That means he stays behind the scenes and ensures that everything is running smoothly. We have a director of arts and media, Nicholas Georgel. We have a creative consultant, Carrie Walden, and you'll hear more from her in the near future, believe you me. And Ron is the head of gaming and streaming. Ever since we branched out to Twitch, Andrew has been running a channel himself where he plays various games, and you could definitely check out One True Promotions channel and see Andrew's playthroughs. But ever since we joined Twitch, we have been thinking to ourselves that we need somebody who knows the ropes of this thing to be our Twitch guy, who basically runs a gaming and streaming department. So anybody who comes and mingles with One True Promotion and wants to get into gaming and streaming, Ron is more than just a guest. He's the OTP guy for that now. You want to talk to OTP about gaming, you're talking to Ron, you're talking to Wabaline, and you can become a part of his community, and you will not be disappointed. Ron, thank you for joining us at One True Promotion. Our team is growing more and more every day, and you are a fabulous addition to our team. We've known you for a long time. You've always supported us. We love what you do. It is truly an honor.
And dude, I'm really happy to be part of this too. You know, it was I was always like, I kind of watched you guys grow and that sort of thing, and I just kept doing what I did on my end. So when you guys came to me to find out that you guys wanted to get more into gaming and streaming, I was like, this was kind of a little unexpected, because I know most of you guys mostly like have been focused more on writing, authors, artists. Those tend to be more the content creators you've more focused on. Yeah, I've appeared on the show quite a few times. In the very beginning, I played 1, 2, 3. I think at one point we make it a rule that if I showed up at one more, you were going to kick me off the show, because you were like,
that wasn't a rule. That was just a promise.
It was just a promise.
I was hurting for new guests at that time. I definitely said, if you come on the show, I will kill you.
You want to appear on the show again? And I'm like, I got you. I got you.
But it has been too long, truly. Ironically, it has been too long since your last visit. We have missed you. It's great to be spending this time with you.
And I'm glad to be back again. I've been so busy. I try to catch up when I can. I try to catch the shows when I can, but I get so caught up with what I got going on. Sometimes it kind of slips behind, you know?
Well, listen, you don't have to apologize to me, friend, because you've definitely seen Dropline as many times as I've been able to make it over to your channel to watch your streams. And I do wish I'm able to do that more. So we're in the exact same boat. It's totally cool. It's great that we're working together now, so we will have more opportunities to mingle from that. I would like to ask, before I forget to ask it again, we've talked a lot about how your channel is run. We've talked a lot about why your channel is run. But let's talk about the what's now. What sorts of games have you been playing? What can we expect to see?
So right now, my focus has been for variety. I've been focused on Breath of the Wild, a lot of Switch games recently, because I've been wanting to build more on my Switch library. And I actually got a few more games on Christmas, and so what happened is, what ended up landing on Breath of the Wild was I ended up doing a little poll with my community. I said, hey, I have all these games I'm interested in playing. What game would you guys like to see? And most of the poll came out to be that they want me to play Breath of the Wild. That's what most people seem to have interest in. Though it was like almost a tie between two, but someone broke the tie, and now Breath of the Wild has been my focus. I usually try
Breath of the Wild, for those who may not know. Sorry, sir.
Yep. No, thank you. But yeah, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. That's been my major focus. But I mainly stream on Fridays and Saturdays is Final Fantasy 14. It is a MMORPG, which MMORPG stands for Massively Multiplayer Online Role Playing Game. Think of it like an online game, but it's role playing. You walk into a world, and you create a character, and that this character you play through a story.
Yeah.
But you also can play with multiple people.
Mm-hmm. An RPG that many people who haven't played Final Fantasy might be familiar with is Pokemon. Pokemon is an RPG. You get your Pokemon, you level them up, you walk around the open world, you fight in battles. That's an RPG in a nutshell. But once you get into Final Fantasy and beyond, there is just so much more. It's beautiful.
There's a lot when it comes to the RPG genre for sure. It's one of my favorite genres because it gives me the ability to create. And that's how I end up with like my own characters and stuff I ever want to develop or write stories about. That usually RPGs are just the way to go. They usually help me with developing characters and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so happy to be having this episode tonight during this current season, because for the past 2 months, I have been going back to some old games instead of going into new games. And I have been playing the Final Fantasy games that I've always loved as a child. Used to watch my brother and my friends play them, but never really played them myself until now. In December, I played through Final Fantasy VII, the original, and I have been currently playing Final Fantasy VIII and loving it. Oh boy, do I love Final Fantasy VIII. It has been fun.
You know, it's funny you say Final Fantasy VIII. That's the one that I think well, he's not streaming it right now, but he streamed it yesterday. But he does voice acting in it, so he tends to like make his own little voices and stuff like that. So I found
that sounds fun. Okay, so before we go any further, RPG, you know, the video games today, folks, if you've played video games or you've seen people playing video games, they all have voice actors involved. They all have sound and all kinds of high-tech stuff. Back in the day when technology was still developing, and it was amazing to just see any open world rendered right in front of you, it took a while for us to get to voice acting. So Final Fantasy VIII, for example, is just this beautiful game with expressive animated characters that move around in ways that give off a lot of personality, but you have to read everything they say in a text box, which is why I think that, just as an example of what you can find on Twitch, it is so fun what you were just describing, Ron, you know, a Final Fantasy player who provides their own voices. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun too. So it's funny because sometimes even with 9, I did a little bit myself. Like I try to do a little bit of voice acting on my own sort of thing because back when we were in high school, we did like acting and that sort of thing. Sometimes I changed my voice a bit, so I kind of try to manipulate that into that play when I would play the game. But for the most part, you know, a lot more focused was just seeing that like some people like Zyros, I mentioned his name again, to go through and play the game. It just like voiceover it's great. Let's see. Final Fantasy are awesome games. I'm a race car gamer. Split Second is my favorite. Oh, and Grand Theft Auto. Ooh, Grand Theft Auto. Ooh, man. I remember Grand Theft Auto. I think I did play 5.
Does GTA match the Wabaline brand and community standard, I wonder?
So to me,
GTA on Wabaline? Sorry, go on.
So I'm gonna say flat out, like I don't really typically play those type of games on the channel. I did one time try playing Destiny, which was an FPS game, but it also is a RPG kind of ish in a sense. And I noticed that it's not really exactly what my channel is made for. More focused, again, more on the RPG genre or like platforming or action platformers, that kind of thing is kind of more what the channel focuses on. I tried to expand a little bit more out to other games. Like I've done a few horror games, like I've done the Resident Evil series. I beat 1, I beat 2. I went through 2, actually. I went through 2 quite a few times. And right now, I think with right now that's the only 2 I think. Oh, I beat like the Outlast 1 and 2. I played those ones. My God, those games. And people were like, "You should stream them again." I said, We're good. I'm good. I did my time with them.
Yeah, really, I did my time. I love that. And Christine is asking, "What's the best new game you have played?" Well, I'd like to answer that too. First, you.
Okay. Me, the newest game I liked to play. The newest game.
Your favorite game you play
recently? I'm trying to think because I haven't really like. I usually don't touch like games till like they're much later. This is a little bit of a harder question because Again, I focus more on older games, or usually
Yeah.
games that may have been released like 3 to 4 years ago. If you want to talk about my most recent, I did actually enjoy. Well, I think it's been about a year now, 2 years. It could be even longer. I've been enjoying Fire Emblem Three Houses. I love.
Foaming at the mouth, waiting for you to say that because I have the same answer. I love that
like
game. Love that game, and I was so happy when I saw it on your channel. I was like, yes.
And I beat that route, and I was so happy to beat it. And I plan to go back and get through the other routes. So kind of like this year, my goal is actually to go through all the routes the game offers, and even the DLC. But I'm going back and forth between games. So I'll do my new game, which is right now Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Then I'll be jumping into Fire Emblem again, doing a new route. And after that route's complete, I jump into another different variety game. And then we jump into another route in Fire Emblem Three Houses. Nice. Then we jump into another game. And then we finish off whatever route is left over, any DLC I need to do in that game, and then start going back into doing other variety games. The reason I set that kind of pattern up is just so that I don't end up streaming the same game constantly and don't end up burning myself out of a game. Because the problem is you can stream a game so much, but if you do it too much or you end up playing a game too much, you burn yourself out. Burnouts can happen. So that's why I've learned from myself. That's why I've had to start regulating, okay, when I play these games, when I do as such, because it makes sure that when I'm logging in 14, for instance, I'm able to log in 14, still enjoy myself, and I'm still playing the game to enjoy it. I'm not feeling like, basically,
it's not so fun at that point, right?
No, because you're watching someone who's not enjoying themselves in the long run.
Right. It's so funny. If I could add something to that, I was playing Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem is actually a game. This is Fire Emblem Three Houses. So Three Houses, there's 3 storylines you can play, but then it turns out there's a secret one you can play. So there's actually 4. And all 4 of them are like full games in themselves. So I actually went through like 2.5 of them, had to restart a couple of times because I messed up the first few times. So technically I did play through like 2.5 or 3. And I loved the game, but I completely burned out on it. And my mind and body just wanted other things that weren't that for a little while. That's private gaming. But when you're playing games in public and experiencing burnout, you bring up such a good point. People are watching you. You're not just a game streamer. You're also an entertainer. So you got to be invested in what you're doing for the audience to be. Same as a writer.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's what it comes down to. It's the most important part. And Kaz, I'm reading your comment here, but yeah, absolutely. Some games you end up love become games you just don't look forward to playing because you burnt out. You're tired of them. You don't want to play them anymore. So that's why it's important. So that's why it's important to regulate what games you play and how you play them. You spread it out. Like I'm still enjoying Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been enjoying it so much. It's actually been a great experience for me. And what's nice is I'm only playing it when I stream. And I go in each time with a new adventure and something new that happens. So that, in a sense, is one of the most important things to something, and I believe in. Just don't burn out. Enjoy what you do. It's the same thing when it comes to my editing. Like I actually ended up getting one point. I was trying to get back into video editing and stuff like that. I ended up burning myself out because I tried doing too much. That's another thing. That's another thing I want to bring up right now. Don't overload yourself. Because when you start trying to do everything, and most people, this is a mistake that most people make commonly. They'll end up setting every little thing up. Like they'll have every single social media handle up. They'll set up all this stuff. They'll try to push themselves forward, and then they just spread themselves so thin that they're not going to be, their energy's not going to be there.
Yep. That's right.
So the most important thing is take your time. Go for little by little. Like for instance, when I first started, I didn't even use Twitter. I didn't even use Instagram. I literally just used my Twitch, and I just use Facebook.
Yeah, to comment on the comment that Andrew just left, that's been happening to us from time to time. Promoting on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, the way
Mhm.
we have, you know what I mean? Like I don't even use my Twitter because it got to a point where I had to go with what I knew how to use, which was Instagram and Facebook, and just kind of do
Mhm.
my target marketing there. And on top of all the other things we have to do in life, you know what I mean? It really can turn into a fast burnout.
Yep.
But yeah, it is. You give so much great and wise advice when you're on the show, which is why I love having you on. I really would love to ask you real quick. But before that, David says, thanks for this content. I'm going to grab my N64, see if it still works and play some. Star Fox. Ooh, David, I love Star Fox 64. You and I.
Oh, Star Fox. That's
Uh,
oh man, that's one series I need to actually. You know what? Probably what I do after my one route. I'm looking to. I'm gonna ask what Star Fox game I should play because I need to play a Star Fox. Because here's the thing with me right now when it comes to the words. Um, right when it comes to mostly like Legend of Zelda. I technically played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but never completed a Legend of Zelda game in my life. So
mhm,
Breath of the Wild is my first game I'm aiming to complete and
mhm.
feel good about it. My
Uh,
problem is a lot of my Nintendo time was Mario games.
yep,
I
me
played
too.
probably mostly every single Mario game out there.
Mhm.
So I never really focused on the other like ends unless it was like Sonic, which when it came to like the GameCube and stuff, I played those games, of course, when we got it. I think Sonic Adventure 2 is when I got into Sonic.
Mhm.
Um so for the most part, that's
Absolutely. I
that's
actually
just mhm.
go ahead.
Oh no,
I
you go
actually
ahead.
have, I actually have a suggestion for you when it comes to Star Fox, but I'll save it for after the show. So we're going to have a
Okay.
secret behind the scenes chat when Ron is done here. But I love all the gamers we have in the audience tonight. This is really fun. Uh,
Mhm.
Ime is talking about Fire Emblem and how the Game Boy Advance games are amazing.
Mhm.
Christine seemed to like the sound of Fire Emblem and is asking how can she play the game. It's on the Switch, actually, which is one of my favorite systems. She's also saying
Yeah.
she has a PlayStation 3, so there will be no Star Fox for Christine, unfortunately. Got to have a Nintendo system for that. Although the PlayStation 3 was a pretty golden era of video gaming, if I'm remembering correctly. Certainly
Mm.
a lot of options there.
It's so funny you bring that up. I remember like our thing back in the day about the PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360. It just brought up that idea from years ago.
There's a lot to bring up. So, okay, so Ron and I used to have our own series, our own YouTube series, and it was called the Movie
Yep.
Idea Series. And basically,
Yeah.
the way it worked was we would sit down on the couch, get a movie idea,
Yep.
often about pretty much nothing. The smallest amount of inspirational content possible. And then as we were getting into the discussion, the screen would blur out and then the movie in our heads begin. And it was a really fun series to do. It really was a great concept.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we didn't always have ideas. So sometimes our episodes were very improvisational with
Yes.
many kinks to work out. And yes,
Yes.
we did have a very fun exchange in one episode over the Xbox 360 versus
PS3.
PlayStation 3. I am just sad about it because of the character. I don't know what got into me, but it is just it's a hard thing to
He
confront.
loves having me on the show, ladies and gentlemen. He loves having me on the show here. I bring up some great memories.
Oh, he sure does. You want to tell them about Blu-ray J? I think I built it up too much for you to
Bootleg J,
describe it
Bootleg J.
vividly. Yeah, go ahead.
No, my favorite moment of that, just like Bootleg J, Bootleg J.
That's right.
And and my favorite. Heard from all. I
Oh
can't
yes.
believe I can still do the
Code
voice.
Flaw.
I hate that.
Yeah, you did it really well, though. You still are Code Flaw. Code Flaw is a part of you. He comes from you.
And,
You can never be rid of him. Just like I can't get rid of Blu-ray J. It was awful.
yeah, exactly. Like those characters.
Thing like this. I put on like a blue button down. It was all puffy, and I called. It was oh man, it was. He decided to take out a gun and and just pointed at me. And I guess that's what you do when a strange man comes into your room. So I guess that was warranted on his part. But yeah, I turned around. I told her, I said, "You need to take it." What did I say? I said, "You need to take a chill pill. What's going on?" Yeah. So,
What's going on?
oh, why are we doing this? Why are we canceling my show by bringing in this content? Oh, we had a good time. We had a good time.
Oh my
We had a great time in high school.
What you do in high schools, guys? You know, it's just all those memories, man.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
I just couldn't resist because he said something about PlayStation 3. You guys, someone in Instagram said something about PlayStation 3. I'm like, I couldn't resist. I had to bring it up.
yes.
It was there.
Oh, really? He said PS3. So we can blame Christine for the resurrection of Blu-ray J and Code Flaw.
Also, Kaz, to recognize your comment, but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to playing some of the Tales games for Charity Month. I already revealed because I'm playing Symphonia and Vesperia. And Vesperia, I'm playing with one of my mods and a very close friend of mine, who I met in North Carolina recently. So I'm actually really excited to play that game with her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Ron,
Mate, how dare you not tell Carrie about our adventures?
I care about things that make me sound good.
You've never heard of this stuff, man. Come on.
Actually would be kind of interested in digging up the series and potentially watching it with my fiance. That actually does sound kind of entertaining.
I do have it on Facebook still.
Especially now that she said yes, and I feel like watching them through won't make her say no when I ask. So yeah, I think that's a good time to do it. Actually, yeah.
Oh god,
yeah.
That was funny.
You've talked. We're almost at time. This always happens when Ron's on. We could go for the next 3 hours. Ron and I. We've always been this way, and it's hard to fit the two of us into a 55-minute segment. But before we start to wrap things up, I want to just call attention to one last thing. You've talked a lot about how your channel has grown. You've talked a lot about your mission and your goals and why you do it. And we've kind of touched upon, I think, how the experience has really changed for your community and your gamers. But going from having a small community, doing one game all the time, to having all of these subscribers and all of this variety and just all this, just like this whole different dynamic to what you do now. I want to know how the changes have affected you. Like, how has the experience changed for you personally over time?
It feels good because, like, when I look through it all, it really is nice to see that now people, instead of looking for me just for that one game, people will look and say, hey, he seems to be fun. He seems to be having fun with these other games that he's playing. And it seems like with the focus of 14, of course, being my Fridays and Saturdays, it's always a nice way to bring more people in who might show interest and show me other games and suggestions and stuff like that. The way I feel now, it just feels really good. The fact that I could now, I said, well, I'll say this. When I first started out, 7 days, I streamed 7 times a week, 8 hours a day. I was able to cut that 3 days, and now I only stream for 5 hours a day. And honestly, it was probably one of the best choices I've made. Because 1, it let me focus on other things. 2, it let me actually be able to focus and make better content for future streams. And also let me be able to focus on other content I could create while I'm not streaming. So it's kind of like why my options are like there, because I know people that still stream pretty much every day, and they'll stream for like 8 hours, which literally is one of my friends who plays 11 and does it 8, and I'm like, you're nuts. I used to do all that, but I feel like I've been neglecting things. So I had to cut back and go, let me just fix the schedule to make sure, 1, I can still take care of myself. I can still make sure I'm mentally and physically able to perform when it comes to the next stream. I mean, I technically comes on my end. I end up where I do work in the morning, and my Mondays and Tuesdays I work in the morning, and then I come home. I get about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour gap, and I jump right into streaming from 5 to 10. And after that stream, I pretty much go and pass out and go to bed because I need to get up for work the next day, and I do that on Tuesday, get some sleep, and then I wake up the next day for work because I do work Monday through Friday from 5:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it's important that I make sure I have my rest, my sleep, that I'm making sure I, again, have my energy to come to the stream, to come have fun, and to make sure people are able to enjoy themselves being there. If I'm not my best or doing my best or I'm not having the energy, it won't create the environment that I need or the
That's
environment I want to see. So I've had moments, and I'll admit this. I've been streaming for almost about 2 years. And I had moments where I basically just shot the bed on one of my streams because I ended up with a stream where my sound quality got terrible. Basically, people were picking up static from my mic. It sounded like it sounded like from that
Mhm.
every couple of seconds or so. So it was something really scary to, see. And then you also had like the moments of also sometimes I get a little depression, that sort of thing, and that kind of hits, and unfortunately it just sends you down a slump.
Yep.
And I had no motivation to keep going. The other thing I need to kind of mention, I guess, real quick too, is try when you start streaming out, don't hide your viewer count. You can do that with Streamlabs. I believe Streamlabs OBS lets you do that, which is nice. It's actually helped me greatly doing that. Because when I start looking at my viewership and I start looking at my counts, it ends up hurting me because I end up trying to think too hard on it. That's something I can really give for advice if people are scared to try it. Just do not look at the review count. Go out, talk, go have fun, and just do it. Like, just go out and have fun and just like pretend you're talking and maybe somebody is there. Just maybe someone will be listening in. At the end of the day, you're gonna have people lurking. They're watching your stream, they're probably enjoying your stream and while they're doing something else, and that is okay.
Absolutely.
So
And that advice really is universal too. I think it's very, very wise from the man himself. And also, we're all kind of, performing and marketing and peddling out here. And some of us really can get a little dejected sometimes when we pour all this out of ourselves, and we feel like we didn't do a good job or we're unsure of the results. I know I've had my moments as well. But what you say about just the little things we can do to trick our brains into 100% investment, you know what I mean? If it doesn't bring you viewers immediately, it'll bring you viewers later. It's the kind of thing that'll make somebody look back at one of your videos and say, hey, here's how a pro does things. And that's just the name of the game. You know what I mean? It
mhm.
really is fantastic. Ron, you got a good thing going over there, and I know that your viewers are very, very happy. I checked in a bit at the beginning when you were first streaming 2 years ago and was happy to see a couple people tuning in. I checked in very recently when I happened to be perusing Twitch, and I said, hey, let me go see what's up with Waba. And I jumped into the comment section and just found myself surrounded by other commenters who were fully invested and having a great time. And I was just proud, just dropping in, I could immediately see the payoffs of all of your hard work and just how fun it was. It's a fun page. Everybody's there. The gameplay is great. The commentary is great. The comment section is fun. Everybody's nice. Everybody's invested. And really, it is just great. So, hey, if you want to watch Wabaline on Twitch, you can go to, it's scrolling across the screen here. You can go to twitch.tv/Wabaline, and you will be right in the next stream. Ron, you want to remind them about your schedule?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my schedule is Mondays, Tuesdays. I stream from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, almost at Central Time. So for those who maybe don't live on the East Coast, that'd be 4 to 9 Central. Some people I know aware of, they do live in other, other sides of the world. I try to keep like people a little bit more time zones because I know some people in Europe, for them, technically, I think it's around England and maybe Germany. I think technically I start for them, it's 10 p.m. to basically like 10, 11, 12, 1, 3, like 10 to 3. Something like that. So it's just kind of like, just always make sure like I'm convert my time zones and stuff like that. But mainly if you want to look, I do Eastern time. That's mostly my schedules are. So basically it is Mondays and Tuesdays from 5 to 10, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, where I stream variety, which right now is Breath of the Wild. Fridays and Saturdays are the same times, 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern with Final Fantasy 14. Though currently I am doing a morning stream of Divinity 2, with my friends Claros and Shiro. I play that from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. So I do a 4-hour stream in the morning on Saturday, and then I end the night from like a 5 to 10 with my Final Fantasy 14 stream.
And you heard it from the man himself. So those are the times you can catch Wabaline. Ron, it's been great to have you here tonight. Also, Dave Clayton joined us. Thank you, Dave, for joining the show. We did a lot of that movie making magic with you back in the day. Thank you for bringing us together.
Yep.
Watch this episode back anytime. It's going to be recorded, and we would love to have you on the show sometime. Thank you, Dave. Ron, we have to wrap up in a minute or so. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, I basically said what I needed to say. Just follow me at twitch.tv/Wabaline. Again, my schedule is Monday, Tuesdays, 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Then Fridays and Saturdays at 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern as well. I do have an extra stream on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern of Divinity 2. And also, you can follow me at Twitter at Wabaline. And there we go.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the show tonight. This was an awesome show. Thank you for your awesome questions. Thank you for continuing to support the show. Please continue to support Ron Powick, Wabaline. Please continue to support Alec Pangea, author, and One True Promotion. Thank you. We love you. Good night, Instagram. Signing off now. And Ron, thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time.
And there we go. Hold on.
Sorry about that. Forgot about the whole sound system thing. All right. And that is Drop a Line for the night, folks. We will see you next time. Take care, Ron.
All right. Take it easy, guys.